readjust this. I apologize for the camera work. Being special today. What's up, family? Man, just got done working out over here at the Y. Man, I just wanted to jump on real quick. Man, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to get in. Apologize for all that moving of the camera and all that other craziness just a minute ago. Man, it's beautiful out here. It's kind of breezy, but it's nice, man. It turned out to be a real nice day. So, man, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Man, I get asked so much, man, how do you know how to connect to God? How do you know how to, get in alignment with God? How do you find your purpose? How do you understand who you are in the midst of all the madness that you've gone through? You know what I mean? In the midst of all the hell that you've gone through. And sometimes, you know what? I think it's harder sometimes to find God when everything's going right for you. You know what I mean? When you grow up in an environment to where, man, you have a loving mother, a loving father, finances isn't a problem, and everything is cool. You know what I mean? I think it's harder to find God. I think it's harder to find your purpose in those circumstances. You know what I mean? Because you don't really need God. You do, but you don't. It's not like when you're struggling and you're going through hell, man, you need God. You know what I mean? You really need God. And you know that you need God because, man, you can't figure this crap out. You know what I mean? And so I think it's harder to get in contact with God when things are great, when things are going good for you. You know what I mean? I love movies. I talk about that a lot. One of the movies that I saw a while back was this movie right here, The Wild. Wild. Man, I just found this book just the other day. It's the Cheryl Strait story, based on a true story. This this young lady grew up in a bad situation. You know what I mean? Grew up in a real toxic situation. Father wasn't there. Father was abusive. Her and her brother was raised by her mom, single mom. She wouldn't leave her husband even though he was abusive. She later got cancer and, man, she passed away. What's up, AA? Her mom passed away. And that messed this young lady. This young lady was already messed up from the gate. You know what I mean? Just the environment that she grew up in, and then seeing her mom, who was her everything, pass away, and so this young lady took a trip. She got a backpack and she's like, I'm just gone, and she went on this journey, and this journey was she's gonna hike, and what's up, Michelle? And she went to hike, and how you doing? Some little kids waving to me. And so, man, and so she found God in all of the crap that she went through. Stay with me. And what I mean by God, man, this young lady was so bitter, so angry, so broken at her life, at her circumstances. And again, understand, this young lady grew up in a toxic environment. She saw her father abusing her mom, her mom not leaving the situation, you know what I mean? And then she getting married, and not having her own identity. Man, she's cheating on her husband. She's doing all kind of dope, just doing the most, you know what I mean? Just doing the most. Why? Because she was broken, because she was hurt. She was trying to find her identity, you know what I mean? And so she sees her mom trying to get her life together. Her mom's going to college, and she's in college with her mom at the same school and some of the same classes, and she's tripping out. Telling her mom, don't talk to me, you know what I mean? Don't tell people you're my mom, you know what I mean? And it's because she's embarrassed. And so after her mom passes away, what's up, Duncan? After her mom passes away, she loses it. She loses it, and that's what the great majority of us do. We go through so much hell in life, and we get, what's up, Ingrid, how you doing? We get so broken, we get so frustrated going through the hell that we go through in life, and we take on this victim mentality. We take on this mentality, man, even God don't care about me. Even God don't like me. Not even understanding that God is drawing you closer to him. Not even understanding that God is allowing all those circumstances, all those things to happen in your life, not to break you, but to show you who you are, to show you how strong you are, to show you man, you have the power. You have this endurance. You know what I mean? And so many of us, man, we get so broken. We get so frustrated in life, and we just give up. We give up. And I don't care what you go through in life, family. You have to understand it's not about what you do. It's about, can you endure? You know what I mean? Can you endure? Can you endure the test of time? Can you endure the crap that you've gone through? Can you endure? See, so many of us, we think, man, the doctors, they're so much smarter than everybody else because, man, they kept going to school and doctors aren't smarter than you and I. They're not. I know a lot of them. They're not smarter than us. The only difference between doctors and us, other than the fact that they make all the money that they make, is the fact that they had the endurance to continue on with college. When so many of us, we get to the point we graduate high school, we're like, fuck this, I'm done. You know what I mean? I ain't doing no more school, you know? And some of us go and get an AA, some of us get a BA, and we're like, I'm done. I'm sick of school. I'm sick of doing papers. I'm sick of all this crap. And you stop. Some continue on and get their masters, and then after they get their masters, some are like, I'm done. I ain't doing no more papers. I'm not doing no more research. I'm not reading no more crap. I'm done. Whereas doctors continue on. Doctors continue on. That's the difference. And so with us, man, can you endure? Can you continue? And what I mean continue, because I'm not talking about getting up and going to work and doing the same crap you've been doing for 30, 40, 50 years. You know what I mean? And staying in the same toxic shit, the same broken family, the same fucked up home. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, can you endure? Can you continue to be loving? Can you continue to say, man, I see the beauty in all of this. No matter what the situation looks like, man, there's beauty in this. And how do you get to that place? You get to that place after you go through that brokenness. How do you get to that situation? You get to that situation after you sit there and say, God, help me. God, I surrender. God, I surrender and I submit to your will. And what do I mean by submit to your will? God, I thought I knew everything. God, I thought I knew the answers. God, with all the things that I've done, my intentions were right. And even though my intentions were right, I still fucked up a lot of shit. Even though my intentions were right, I still messed up a lot. Even though my intentions were right, man, I made a lot of wrong choices. I got in a lot of toxic situations. I got in a lot of dangerous situations, even though my intentions were right. God, I need your help. God, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. I don't know what your name is. God, can you help me? God, can you show me why I'm going through all the hell that I'm going through? God, can you show me why I've gone through all of the crap that I've gone through? God, can you show me why I keep making these same stupid decisions over and over and over and over again? God, can you show me why I keep choosing these same type of knuckleheads? God, can you show me why I keep choosing these guys that's gonna abuse me, that's gonna talk down to me, that's gonna call me outside my name, that's gonna beat me, that's gonna cheat on me? God, can you show me why I keep choosing these women that don't mean me any good? God, can you show me why I keep hanging out with the homies and I know they don't mean any good for me? I know they ain't got my best interest at heart. God, why do I keep doing the dope? I don't want to do dope anymore, but I gotta do it. God, help me. God, I'm sick and tired of drinking, but I don't know how to stop drinking. I've tried so many times. God, I'm done. I'm done. God, can you help me? See, most of us, we've never gotten to that point. We say that we have, but we never really have. And so this young lady, man, she gets on a backpack and, man, she just starts walking out into the wild. And I trip out on that because, you know what? Man, when I first saw that movie, man, I was in a situation where my wife was sick with cancer. And we knew she was gonna die. And so when I saw the scene where her mom dies of cancer, you know, the doctors told them that she had maybe 6 months, and a few weeks later, she was gone. And that just resonated with me. It's like, what the fuck? This movie's for me, you know what I mean? And it's like, man, at that moment, I knew that, man, I gotta do something different. I have to do something different. I can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. God's trying to show me something. So many of us, God's trying to show us something, but we ain't listening. We ain't paying attention. Why? Because we think we know it all. Because we're going to keep doing the same stupid shit that we've always done. Thinking that it's going to work out better for us. Thinking that we're going to get a different result. And so what God had to show me was, man, once you get broken, and you know you're broken when you sit there and say, man, not my will. Not my will. You see, and when you know you're broken, man, you're done with your ego. You're done with your ego. You're done thinking you know it all. You're done thinking that, man, I got this figured out. You're done thinking, man, I'm going to do it my way. Because you understand at that moment, man, my way's got me fucked up. My way's got me in all the hell it's got me in. I've done everything I could think of to get out of this situation. And it ain't working. And so once you get broken, and I mean broken, where you, man, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. You know what I mean? Done. It's God, help me. God, can't nobody else help me. God, help me. I ain't got another one left in me. I can't do this again. I can't go through this again. God, help me. And so once you get to that point, man, you ain't got time for religion. You ain't got time for the okie doke. You ain't got time for the drama. You ain't got time for the dogma and the religious crap of everybody. You ain't got time for that madness. Why? Because you understand, man, I'm broke. I'm not listening to no more foolishness. I'm not listening to no more stupidity. What's up, Loretta? I'm not listening to no more of that crap. What's up, Gold Melanin? You ain't got time for that no more. And so, man, we got it once we get to that point. Once we get to that point of total surrender, once we get to that point of God, here I am. God, show me. Show me. Show me who I am. Show me why I've gone through this. Show me what I'm supposed to do. See, because here's the trick. You've gone through all that you've gone through, and other people have committed suicide. Other people have gone through less than that, and they've committed suicide. You've gone through all the hell that you've gone through, and some of us have tried to commit suicide and couldn't. That's how you, I can't even succeed at committing suicide. You know what I mean? And it's like, it ain't about what you want. At that moment, you realize, man, it ain't about me no more. It ain't about me. God, whatever you want, God, here I am. Whatever you want me to do, here I am. Because obviously you want me to stay alive for some reason, you know what I mean? Because I'm done, I'm ready to check out, and I can't even check out. I've tried checking out, but you won't let me. Why? Because obviously there's something that I gotta do. Why? Because there's obviously something that I'm supposed to learn. Why? Because I'm supposed to walk this journey. No matter how hard it is, no matter how frustrating, no matter how lonely it is, God, I gotta walk this. And I understand, God, that, man, you've always been there with me. I didn't think you was there. I thought I was by myself. I thought I was lonely, but God, you was always there. God, I see you in the birds now. God, I see you in the butterflies now. I see you in the ladybugs now. I see you in the dragonflies now. I see you in the hawks now. I see you in the crows now. I see you. I hear you. See, before we couldn't hear God. Why? Because of all the dysfunction. We couldn't hear God. Why? Because of our ego. We thought we had this figured out. Man, we looking for all the answers in the dope. We looking for all the answers in religion. We looking for all the answers in education. We looking for all the answers outside of us. And you're never gonna find the answers outside of you. You're never gonna find the answers externally. It's always going within. It's always going within. And that's the thing that they don't teach us growing up. That's the thing religion don't teach us. That's the thing education and psychology don't teach us about going within. They always tell us go look externally. Go ask somebody else for the answer. Go look in a book for the answer. And so when you go internally, when you sit there in your brokenness, when you sit there and you're just crying on the inside, your soul is crying, your heart is crying, everything about you is just broken and you just stuck crying. You can't do anything else, you're stuck. You're in that place they call between a rock and a hard place. You can't go left, you can't go right, you stuck. And it hasn't been in that place of being stuck. It hasn't been in that place that I call the cocoon. From caterpillar to butterfly, you got to go through this cocoon process. And it's dark in that process. You're alone in that process. Ain't nothing else in there. You got to die to your old way of thinking. You got to die to your circumstances. You got to die to your homies. You got to die to those broken and devastating relationships. You got to die to your toxic ass family. You got to go through the process. You got to endure. You have to endure. Can you endure? Do you love yourself enough to say, man, fuck family? You know what I mean? Family's what got me fucked up in the first place. Man, fuck them knuckleheads, you know what I mean? If I got to be alone for the rest of my life, so be it. But I'm telling you, family, you don't have to be alone. You won't be alone for the rest of your life. You just got to be alone to go through this process. Why? Because you got to learn who you are. You got to learn to value yourself. You got to learn to love yourself. That's what this whole process is about. That's what this whole journey is about. That's what this young lady had to understand and discover. It don't matter where you run to. It don't matter how you get there. The whole process is coming to an understanding of who you are, why you're here, and learning to love yourself. Learning to value yourself. Learning to appreciate yourself. And then once you do that, once you learn to value yourself, once you learn to forgive yourself, once you learn to forgive everybody else around, man, you realize that it ain't personal. Man, when you're stuck and you're going through all this madness and you know your ego's still in place, why? Because you're looking at everybody else and you're a victim. And you're mad at your mama, you're mad at your daddy, you're mad at your ex, you're mad at your kids, you're mad at your husband, you're mad at everybody. Why? Because ego's still in charge. You ain't been broken yet. Once you get broken, it's like, you let all that go. Once you get broken, you get to the point, it's like, God, I understand. God, I forgive them. It wasn't even about them. It's never about what your daddy did. It's never about what your mama did or what she didn't do. It's never about the guy that raped you or the people that molested you or the people that beat you and abused you sexually and mentally and all of that. It's never about them. Never. And as long as you're still mad at them, as long as you're still triggered by them, as long as you still got some about them, man, you haven't been broken yet. And so what's going to happen is, it is what it is. Man, you're going to keep going through some crap. You're going to keep going through all of that crap. Why? Because you got to be broken. You have to be broken. The problem is, the ego doesn't want you to get broken. The problem is, the ego don't want you to die to self. Why? Because once you die to self, the ego's no longer in control. The ego don't give a damn whether you're doing dope. The ego don't give a damn whether you're educated or not. The ego don't give a damn whether you're going to church or not. The ego don't give a damn whether you're singing in the choir or preaching or usher or deacon. The ego don't give a crap about that bullshit. The ego don't want you to be broken. Why? Because once you're broken, the ego dies. And it's no longer about the ego, it's about you and God. Oh, this is grown folk talk right here. And most of y'all ain't ready for this. A lot of people ain't ready for this, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? To each their own, to each their own. I ain't not mad, I ain't judging nobody. It's a journey they're gonna have to get to. It's part of the growth and development journey that they're gonna have to walk eventually, you know what I mean? But we have to get to that point of just being broken, of total surrender. And see, that's the truth. Most of us, man, I ain't submitting to nobody. Fuck that shit. You know, we got issue with submitting. Why? Because the ego's still in charge. We got an issue with being submissive. Why? Because the ego's still in charge. Once you get to that point of total surrender, once you get to that point of, man, God, not my will. Man, God, whatever you want. Why? Because you understand that whatever God wants, man, it's all good. It's in your best interest. It's part of your growth and development. It's part of you being that phoenix going through the fire. It's part of you reaching your full potential. Because you understand that, man, God wasn't trying to sabotage you. God wasn't about trying to keep you bored and miserable and all that other crazy stuff. God wants you to be happy. God wants you to have peace. God wants you to have joy. But you can't find that crap in some fucking dude. You can't find that crap in a fucking job, in a title, in a fucking career. You are not gonna find peace and joy in the fucking church. Grow the fuck up. You're gonna only find that going within you. And so, it don't matter what your journey looks like. Your journey's not gonna look like my journey. Our journey's not gonna look like that young lady's journey in the book, The Wow, the movie, The Wow. I think you can find that, you can see it on Netflix. If not Netflix, I think it's Prime, but I believe it's on Netflix. Man, our journeys are gonna look different, but the process is going to be the same. I'm gonna say again, our journeys look different. Why? Because we grew up different. We experienced different things. So our journeys, what's up, JetBlue? Our journey is gonna be different. But the process is the same. The process is you been broken. The process is you been humbled. The process is you getting in alignment with God. The process is you letting go of all the distractions and you going internally, you going within. Because you can only find you by going within. You can only find God by going within. And then once you go within and you find God and connect with God within, then you can see God everywhere. I'll say again. We look for God all out here, in heaven, in the skies, everywhere else. But we don't recognize who God is. We're looking for God, we say, but we don't know who God is. By humbling ourselves, by going within and connecting with God within us. Now we know who God is. Now we know who we are. Now that we know who we are, now that we know who God is, now we can see God everywhere. Now we can see God in everyone. We see ourselves in everyone. That's why I say that phrase, namaste. Why? What does it mean? The God within me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God in you. Once I see God in me, once I acknowledge that God is within me, I can see and acknowledge and recognize the God in everybody else, regardless of what they're doing, regardless of their get down, regardless of whether or not they believe God is within them or not. You didn't always believe that God was within you. You had to go internally to find the God within you. Once you find him within you, you understand, man, he's always been here. He's always been here. I've been looking for God in all the wrong places. I've been trying to connect with God through religion, through dogma, through all this bullshit. All I had to do was quiet and kill the ego and go internally. And man, I found God. And when I found God, I found me. You can't know who you are without knowing who God is. You can't fulfill your purpose without having a relationship and being in alignment with God. They go hand in hand. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to understand why we're here. We have to understand the hell that we go through. There's a reason for it. God's allowing that to break us, to humble us. And here's the trick. Once you do that, once you get to that place, God can trust you. Once you get to that place, you can trust yourself. Now that you can trust yourself, now that God can trust you because you have a connection with him. And you know that, man, it ain't about me. I'm here for a reason. I'm going to fulfill my purpose. I'm going to walk in my power. I'm going to walk in my authority. I'm going to walk within my calling. Now, you'll meet your queen. Now, you'll meet your king. Why? Because you're not going to fuck it up. Because you're in alignment. See, the problem is, we want to meet our queen. We want to meet our soulmate. We want to meet our twin flame. We want to meet all this shit and not be broken, not be humbled, not be connected to God, not know who we are. You got to know you. But you can only know you by knowing God. And you can only know God by going within you. Let me say that one more time. You can only know you by knowing God. And you can only know God by going within you. That's crazy when you think about it. That's crazy. But that's real. That's real. We have to make this journey. We have to go through it. I don't care what you're going through. Go through it. If you gotta crawl through it. If you gotta scoot through it. I don't care what you do, you gotta make it through it. Whether you crying and snotting and boogers running down your nose, it don't matter. Go through it. You have to endure. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? I want it like breathing. Like breathing. I want it to be so natural that, man, just like I don't even think about breathing, that's how I'm in alignment with God. Just like I don't even think about breathing, that's how I want to fulfill my purpose. That's how I want to walk in my calling. That's how I want to walk in my authority. It just be natural. That's how I want to be grateful. That's how I want to be loving. Where it's just natural. I'm not forcing anything. And it don't matter what my circumstances look like. Why? Because, man, it's all good. It's all good because I understand the process. I understand the broken process. I understand that I got to go through some things. I understand that no matter what I go through, no matter what it looks like, it's all good. It's all working out for my best interest. It's all working out for my best interest. And that's why the Bible says all things work together for the good of them that love him and that are called according to his purpose. Why? Because you've been broken. You've been humbled. You've gotten in alignment with him. Now you're walking in your power. Now you're walking in your authority. Because you've gone through that process. So everything is always working out for you. Man, I didn't realize I was going to say all of this, but I didn't realize that we was going to be on here this long. Family, we got to go through the process. You have to endure. I know it's hard. I know it's lonely. I know it's frustrating, but it's part of the broken process. It's part of the process. And see, so many of us, we're control fanatics. We're control freaks because crap ain't never worked out for us. And so we're trying to control everything. That's ego. That's ego. You ain't been broken yet. That's ego. And so once you've been broken, man, you surrender. It's not about you being in control. It's not about you trying to control your circumstances. It's not about you trying to control your relationships. You can let everything just be. You ain't got to fight. You ain't got to politic. You ain't got to try to manipulate and control external things. You just allow them to be. You allow people to be. Why? Because you know that they're going through the process. You know that, man, they're on their own journey. And they haven't been broken yet. And man, just like you were broken and you had to go through the hell you had to go through in order to be broken, you understand that everybody else got to go through the same process. And so you're able to sit back and relax without judgment. And you're able to sit back and relax and love them through the hell. Love them through their craziness. Because you don't personalize the crazy stuff that they do. You don't personalize the stupid and ignorant things they say. Man, we have to go through the process. We have to go through the process. See, it's like a seed. I garden. I love gardening. I don't care what seed you plant in the ground. It has to die. It has to crack open in order for what's inside of it to sprout, in order for what's inside of it to come out. That's part of the broken process. You got to go through it. And I know people say, well, you don't have to go through that broken stuff. They're ignorant. They don't know. And it's all right. It is what it is. It is what it is. I said this before. Knowledge without wisdom, without understanding is dangerous. It's dangerous. That's all ego. That's all ego. And it is what it is. Mother Nature is all of the same thing. Everything has to crack open. Everything has to die. In order for it to come through, in order for it to be birthed, we all have to go through that process. We get so stuck and not even understand. When you look at a seed, you look at a nut, it's all the same thing. When you look at an egg, man, the shell has to crack in order for what's inside of it to come out. The same thing with any seed. The same thing with your mom and you. Your mama's water had to break. Sometimes, because of our ignorance, we don't want to go through the process. We want to shortchange the process. We want to skip pieces and parts of the process. Because that's ego trying to keep you stuck. But because you think you know something, man, well, you ain't got to do this. You could just read this book right here, and you could just meditate right here, and you could just go to church right here, and you could just read the Bible right here, and you could just pay and give your tithes and offering, and man, you could just shortchange all of that. You ain't got to go through all of that brokenness. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You've got to go through the fire. You got to be broken. You got to be humbled. Man. We got to get it together. We got to wake up. We got to wake up. You got to go through the fire, family. You got to be broken. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You have to be broken. When you look at Jesus hanging on the cross, they say that the soldiers took a spear and pierced him in the side. Why? So that his flesh was broken, so what was inside can come gushing out. He had to be broken. And when you look at Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, even before he got to the cross, Jesus cried all by himself. The disciples were asleep. The disciples, they couldn't hang with him. You know what I mean? They couldn't stay awake and keep praying with him. He had to go through the process of being broken. The Bible and Luke is the only one to talk about it because Luke was a physician, so he was the only one to recognize it. The Bible says in Luke that Jesus pleaded and prayed until blood ran down his head. What does that mean? And there's a terminology, and I can't think of it right now. It's this term that when you get so fearful, you get so scared that the capillaries burst and it appears as though you're sweating blood. That's fear. that's been broken. That's pressure. And even Jesus had to go through that pressure. Even Jesus had to be broken. Jesus was crying out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Jesus was like, man, I don't want to go through this. Man, take this cup from me. I ain't trying to go through that hell. I ain't trying to get my ass whipped. I ain't trying to have to carry that fucking cross. I ain't trying to have to be hung on that cross. But he had to keep going through the process. And the longer he went through the process, he was able to get to that point of, man, complete brokenness. Not my will, but thy will be done. That's total submission. That's complete submission. You gotta go through the process. You gotta be broken. Stop allowing your ego to have you fucked up in this, thinking you ain't got to go through that. You too good to go through that. You too smart to go through that. You too educated to go through that. You too rich to go through that. You gotta be broken. You got to be broken. Family, man, we got to go through it. What's up, Clarence? Yeah, we got to break the ego. We have to break the ego. And we don't even realize how sneaky the ego is. We don't even understand how manipulative the ego is. So many people talk about the devil, and they don't even fucking understand that the devil is their fucking ego. I'm gonna say that again. So many people running around here talking about these evil spirits and the devil whoop and the enemy whoop, not even understanding that they're fucking evil, they're fucking devil, they're fucking evil spirits, or what all this other bullshit is their fucking ego. It's your ego. Grow the fuck up. We have to go within, not to our fucking ego, but into our soul, down into our gut, where the spirit dwells, where the house of God dwells, where God communicates with us. Down in our soul, down in our gut region. See, we stay up in here. We live up in here. That's why we fucked up. Because we can't get outside of our head. Because we think we know so much. We think we're so fucking educated. We think we're so fucking smart. We think we're so fucking spiritual. Because that's all up here. That's all bullshit. My hope and prayer is that we get it together. You know what I mean? We get it together. That we allow the process to unfold the way it has to unfold. You know what I mean? You gotta go through it, family. You have to have the endurance to go through it. We have to wake up. See, what happens is we're shortchanging ourselves. We're shortchanging ourselves by denying this process. By trying to avoid this process, we're shortchanging ourselves. By cutting the process short, we shortchange ourselves. You got to go through the process. You have to go through this process. It's like going to the gym and getting back in shape. It hurts. It sucks. It's painful. You're gonna walk around sore. You gotta change your habits. You gotta change your diet. In order for you to reach your full potential, in order for you to gain the muscles that you want, in order for you to lose the weight that you want, you can't keep doing the same shit you've been doing. You gotta grow up. You have to grow up. And you have to understand that everybody don't want you to reach your full potential. Everybody don't want you to walk in your power. Everybody don't want you to walk in your calling. Everybody don't want you to walk in your authority. Because it's an indictment on them for not doing it. Everybody don't want to see you succeed spiritually. Everybody don't want to see you succeed emotionally. A lot of people don't even want to see you succeed financially. You have to be careful who you're listening to, because everybody ain't telling you the truth. I don't give a damn how nice they are. See, here's the trip about life. And please take this for what it is worth. You know what I mean? Take this for what it is worth. Understand that there's money to be made in your ignorance. There's great wealth to be made on the backs of the ignorant. And so you go to these doctors and they prescribe you all this medication to eliminate the symptom. And you think, man, these doctors care, and these doctors love us, and these doctors give me all these medications that you have to pay for. Stay with me. You pay these doctors a copay to go see them. And they see you 5-10 minutes max. And they write you all these prescriptions. And you go buy these prescriptions. And you go home and you popping all these fucking pills. And these pills are fucking up your liver. These pills are fucking up your kidneys. These pills are fucking up your internal organs. But you think these doctors got your best interest at heart. The brain's just picked up, and you think these doctors got your best interest at heart. They got fucking house payments, car payments, phone payments. They gotta pay back their fucking student loans. And so although they're nice, and although their quote-unquote intent is good, they're not fixing the fucking problem. They're prolonging the problem. They just eliminated the fucking symptom. But the problem is still there. And so, we have to understand that they don't really want you well. Why? Because if you're well, you then coming back to them. If you're well, man, that's less money they get. They don't get money because you're healthy. Because when you're healthy, you don't go to the doctor. When you're healthy, you ain't taking these fucking pills. You only go to the doctor when you're sick. You only go to the doctor and buy these medications when you're sick. You got these ailments. So the purpose of the game is keep you coming back. They want to keep you coming back. Why? They want you to feel better, but they don't want you healthy. They want you to feel better, but they don't want you to stop needing them. Because once you no longer need them, that's less money they make. Understand the game. Everybody ain't out for your best interests. Everybody don't want to see you healthy. Everybody don't want to see you well. Everybody don't want to see you walking in your power and your authority. Man. You're right, Dennis. They do want us dependent. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And the reason why I make these videos and the reason why I'm so passionate is because, man, we gotta wake up. We gotta stop depending on these fucking pastors that tell you the fucking truth. Although they quote unquote got your best interest at heart, so they say, it's about fucking money to them. They're getting wealthy off of your back. They're getting wealthy off of you keep coming back to them and you paying your tithes and offering over and over and over again. You ain't got to go to a pastor. All you got to do is sit your ass down. God help me. God talk to me. That's all you have to do. I understand that, man. I'm a life coach, you know what I mean? But my purpose is, man, I want you healthy. I want you well. I want you to understand that you got all the power within you. You don't really need me. You might need me in the beginning to understand that, okay, man, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. Now, okay, thank you. I got that. Boom, I'm done. You know what I mean? That's what I'm about. Not to keep you hanging on. Not to keep you coming back. If you keep coming back, then I fucking failed. I suck as a life coach. And it's not about being a life coach, because we're not attached for life. You know what I mean? You should come to me once, twice, max. That's it. That's it. If you constantly going back over and over and over, then something's fucking wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. This is real talk. If you have to keep going back to your life coach over and over and over and over and over again, you got to keep going back to your therapist over and over again, something's fucking wrong. Something is majorly fucking wrong. You're missing it somewhere. There's a disconnect somewhere. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, family. I love you guys, man. You know, I love you guys. You know what I mean? And people ask me all the time, man, why do you say the shit you say? Because it's the truth. It's the truth. Yes, I'm a life coach. That's how I make the great majority of my money. But the reality is, man, you shouldn't have to keep coming back to me. And if you keep coming back to me, it's not because you need help. It's because there's some other stuff going on there. Once you learn who you are, once you learn how to sit down, once you learn how to go internally and like, God, here I am. God, help me. God, talk to me. Because just like God talked to me, he'll talk to you too. Just like God opens up stuff to me and gives me knowledge and wisdom and understanding, he'll give it to you too. It's just about you being in alignment with him. It's just about you being humble and broken and knowing where to go. And that's always internally. That's always internally. And so don't look at, man, me or anybody else as, man, these people are great and these people are so powerful and these people whoop, and man, I'll never be like that and blah, blah, blah. No, you can be like that. All you got to do is just learn the process and go through the process. That's all you have to do. But many of us don't want to go through it. Many of us, man, this is the microwave generation. We want everything like that. We talk about manifesting, but the thing about manifesting, you got to go through a process. We don't talk about that. And you got all these people preaching and teaching about manifesting and just speaking it into existence. And what they fuck you up in, because now you're sitting there talking all this stuff. Man, I want a Lamborghini, I want a Mercedes, I want a Hummer, and I want the Navigator, and I want this, and I want this. But they ain't teaching you that you got to go through the fucking process. They just telling you just speak it into existence, just believe it, just write it down every day, and you're going to make it happen. Bullshit. Motherfuckers been paying tithes 30, 40, 50 years. Motherfuckers been manifesting shit for the longest and still ain't got shit. Been manifesting a man forever and still ain't got one. Manifesting a queen forever and still ain't got one. Why? Because you got to go through the process of being broken to get into alignment to where you can receive those things. God's not going to just give you a queen when you ain't ready for a queen. God's not going to just give you a king when you're not emotionally, spiritually, intellectually ready for a king. That's like saying God's going to give you $1 billion company and your ass can't fucking add. Your ass don't know shit about business management. Your ass don't know shit about taking care of finances. God's not going to fuck you up like that and give you this multi-million-dollar company. and you don't understand the process. Just because you spoke it into existence, just because you're manifesting it, no. There's a process. There's always a process. Always a process. You gotta go through the process. I was in the gym today, and I was looking. Camera just came on, so I got like 10%. You got to go through the process. I was in the gym today, and I was leg pressing 700 pounds. I didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to leg press 700 pounds without going through the process of building up to that. There's always a process. Do you have the endurance to go through the process? Do you have the endurance to stick with it? Regardless of the circumstances, regardless of how shit look, do you have the ability to be grateful? In the midst of the hell, do you have the ability to be loving and compassionate and giving when you're broke and you ain't got shit? Can you still be grateful? Can you still be loving? Can you still be compassionate? Can you still be giving? Understand the process. And you can only understand the process by going internally. Family, I'm about to have to cut this short. My phone's about to die. But man, I just want to jump on today, man. And I don't know who this is for. What's up, Natalie? I don't know who this live stream is for. Man, I hope that you've gotten something from this. Man, I love you guys. May you have a beautiful weekend. May you take some time this weekend, starting today, and just exhale. Learn to exhale. Learn to breathe. And learn how to connect with God. And learn how to go through the process. How to endure the process. Because if you don't learn how to endure the process, you're never going to get what you want in life. You're never going to reach your full potential. You're never going to accomplish all that you're capable of accomplishing. You have to go through the process. I love you. Happy healing. Peace.